decision. You had a 50% chance that right was the best direction. You had a 50% chance of being right. Don't ask her, just turn. All you got to do is come around the block and say, baby, we were just going for a nice ride. Baby, I like spending time with you. I'm closest to you when I'm lost with you.
Welcome to this week's episode of Financial Freestyle here on Yahoo Finance. And look, guys, no matter where you are in your journey, you can never stop learning. And that's why I'm talking to some of the biggest GOATs. And today is no different as we have Grant Cardone coming back again. So you know what I love? I'm a father, right? My wife and I, we had 3 kids under 3, very busy COVID. But no, the world watches you talk to your daughters. And I also make a lot of content where I'm talking to my kids about finance as a whole. I look at financial literacy as its own language, right? The earlier you learn to speak it, you'll become fluent in it. And we watch you, and you say this often, right? When it comes to, you teach your kids to think like owners, not earners. How do you act? How should people at home develop that mindset? Especially, I think the school system doesn't do a good enough job of teaching our kids to think like owners. And so what should people at home do to actually develop that same type of mindset?
Well, don't pay your kids an allowance. Owners don't get allowances. Owners earn. So typically the owner of a business is paid less than everybody else. And so, the first thing I did, I'm not giving parenting advice, is I don't pay my kids an allowance. I'm like, I brought you into this world, dude. Like you understand, like everything, all this stuff I have is mine and you're getting to live in it. The last thing I need to do is give you an allowance. If you want any of this other stuff, any of this extra stuff other than food and shelter and a good dad, I'm a good dad. My job is to protect you. My job is to show you what's possible in the world. But my job is not to, I'm already paying you way. I don't need to give you $100 to clean your bed up. The rest of this stuff you need to earn. Anything else you want, you got to earn. You want to be on my plane, you got to earn that seat. So part of the contribution from the kid is, I don't think you could spoil kids as long as you let them contribute enough. Let them contribute, okay? My kids have been on payroll since they were 5 years old. They have a contract. At 5 years old, they were both given contracts. If they're old enough to read and understand, they're going to sign that damn contract. On that contract, it says you need to do this, 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 and this, okay? I expect those things to be done, and we're going to pay you one time a year. I'm going to write you a check for $50,000 a year. That's a tax deduction, by the way. You a write-off now. Wrote those kids off. 5 years old. Bang. I don't have to pay the federal government $100K. And I had a contract with them. I took that $50,000, I dropped it into Cardone Capital right here, is our real estate division. The real estate pays a little dividend every month. It pay maybe $250 a month. That $250 goes into their account every month. If they want to go buy a bicycle or something, they got to save up 2 or 3 months to buy that bicycle. I don't buy their bicycle because it's not a tax write-off. I'm teaching my kids all this while I'm doing it with them. It's not my job to buy your bike. Your job is to buy your bike. Your job is to be on my payroll until you can go get your own job. I'm going to give you a job. You got to do these 10 things. I'm going to put money in your account. I'm going to take that money from you. I'm going to invest that money in Cardone Capital. Cardone Capital is going to pay you every month. And then if you want to use that money every month, you can. I mean, I had a 6-year-old, my 6-year-old, she'd been on payroll for a year. She's like, how much money do I have? She's 6 years old, man. So you got $3,000 saved. And she's like, I got $3,000 saved. I want to buy something. Okay, you could, but what got you that money was investment. She's like, Papa, why don't you just invest the money for me then? I said, that's a great idea.
That's fair. And I definitely believe, parents need to focus on educating them at home as well. It's not just, okay, how was your day at school? Okay, turn on the TV. TV can't go on. The tablets are idiot devices. I'm with you, right?
Yeah.
It is, we focus a lot on education in the household. And it's like, we got to eat, sleep, and breathe it. All my kids, to your point, are all write-offs. But I got to figure out how I can write off, 100, or in my case, it should be $150K. I don't know. My accountant need to talk to your accountant. Well, we got different accounts. But now that I'm talking to the GOAT, right? If my audience is right now, right, we're going to change this whole thing. If we're sitting at your business training university, what are the top 3 things a person can use right now that's going to transform the way they approach sales?
To approach sales is, you got to change your mind about sales and selling products and services and selling yourself. I mean, all of life is a sale. Everything you're doing every day is you're a sales. Everybody's a salesperson, man. You got to change your mind about. I had a sales job when I was 25 years old and I hated it. I referenced that earlier. And a guy said to me, he's like, bro, look, you understand what the word sales was originally revenue. It meant revenue. It meant income. And if you hate sales, you hate revenue and income. Sales is the top line on every financial statement of every company anywhere in the world. It's a sales line first. And if you're not going to like sales, you're not going to like income, and you're not going to like revenue, and your household's going to suffer forever. So the man told me, he's my uncle actually, he says, you need to change your mind about this sales game. You don't like it because you're no good at it. You're no good at it because you never studied it. I'd spent 17 years in school, 5 years in a college getting an accounting degree, and nobody taught me how to actually earn revenue. So I started my career. My career really started at 25 years old. When my education started at 25. It did not start at 5 years old. My education started when I was 25 years old, when I started studying sales and I was out of college. So that's what I would tell people, man. You got to learn the sales game. There's a great book called Sell or Be Sold. This dude wrote it, man. It's a phenomenal book. Sell or Be Sold. One of the best sales books ever written by a buddy of mine, good friend of mine.
Now that we're talking about Sell or Be Sold, are the 2 other books that you recommend for a person to kind of truly transform their mindset?
Well, you got to get the 10X rule.
Absolutely.
You have to get that book. That's a mental book. That's a book about how big you can think. That book will make you a billionaire. So if you don't want to be a billionaire, do not get the 10X rule. Book is dangerous. I'm going to give everybody a link to this book today. I'm going to get you the link. So all they got to do is download this. I'll give it to your audience for free. There's a great book on the mind called Dianetics. Phenomenal book on how the mind works and why people get so negative and why people make bad choices and why people pick the wrong friends. If you've ever been, before your wife, were you ever with a psycho woman?
I think we all have been with one.
At least one. Dude, I've read so many great books. Like Dianetics was a phenomenal book on the mind and why people are reactive, why they sabotage themselves, why you say negative stuff to yourself all the time, why you make bad choices, pick bad people, pick bad relationships, why you do stuff that's just stupid, and how to quit doing stupid stuff and making bad choices.
You know what I find interesting is like a lot of what we're talking about can really come down to the point is like mindset and also stop procrastinating. But I was just talking to somebody the other day and I'm like, look, we are all guinea pigs effectively when it comes to attention. Everybody wants your attention from every social media. The entire business plan is retention and how do I keep you on my app for as long as possible?
Yeah.
So when it's all said and done, extremely brilliant scientists are all finding ways from a dopamine hit to keep us all addicted to something. We're addicted to social media, Netflix. It'll give you 7 seconds before the next episode automatically comes on. So you got Netflix, every social media, Facebook, YouTube, etc. So from an attention standpoint, how does a person stop procrastinating and really 10X their life?
I don't know, man. It's one of my superpowers, man. I think of something and I do it right away.
But think about it, like your daughters now are growing up in a TikTok phase. I don't know if they're in school, their classmates, their friends are all doing the latest TikToks as well, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk for your kids. How do you, obviously they're learning from you, so it's a little different, but think about like the amount of screen time our children are having, right? Like you've eclipsed this, but like if you're talking to some of your friends who kids are on or spending hours on screen time, they're gaming, they're watching these streamers, like it's a lot of screen time. Like how does a person stop procrastinating in 10X?
Yeah, I think I wish I knew how to tell people how to actually do it. I know this. The reason people procrastinate is because they don't really know what they're doing. If you knew for sure, bro, that you were going to win the lottery ticket, you would not procrastinate on it. If you knew for sure you were going to win, you would go at it quick. People typically add time when they don't know what they're doing or they're confused. When you're asking everybody else what to do, you're confused. And that's why I mentioned that book, Dianetics, because it takes the confusion out of your mind. You're second guessing. People are second guessing themselves. When you ask your wife, which way should you go? You're driving the car. Bro, you shouldn't be asking your wife which way to go. It means you don't know. Okay? Because she's going to say you should go right. You already made a decision you should go left. You weren't sure. That's why you asked. And the moment you ask somebody else what you're going to do, you're going to slow down and procrastinate. So I would tell people the way to get over procrastination is to commit to professionalism. You have to become an expert at something. You have to become great at something. You have to become certain so that you're not asking someone where to go. Because if you chose to pick that steering wheel, bro, you should know where you're going. So like when I get in a car, I got to do I have these little things, these tricks that I play with myself. When I get in a car, if I don't know where I'm going, bro, I put it in drive. If I get to the intersection and I don't know whether to go right or left, I make a decision. I would rather make a decision wrong, fast, than do a maybe and cause an accident. Because the people that cause all the accidents are all the new people driving into a city because they don't know where they're going. I would just tell people, quit adding time, man. Quit adding time to everything you do. Say it, commit to it, live with it. If you went the wrong way, at least you made a decision. You had a 50% chance that right was the best direction. You had a 50% chance of being right. Don't ask her, just turn. All you got to do is come around the block and say, baby, we were just going for a nice ride. Baby, I like spending time with you. I'm closest to you when I'm lost with you.
I love it. Grant, you dropping gems. But look, guys, we got to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to have even more with Grant Cardone. All right, we're going to use me as a case study, right? I had the opportunity of putting forth an RFP, not for a professional sports team, but for the entire league, right? I was supposed to talk to their rookies. So I teach financial literacy. You know my background. We had a little quick elevator pitch. And I'm going up against every Wall Street firm, from Goldman, JP, Morgan Stanley, et cetera, right? I ended up coming in second place. And that loss ended up, it's all good because it helped me think of something, right? That loss helped me 10x 100x my approach, right? Obviously, financial literacy, you got courses, you got universities, digital courses, et cetera. But I said, I'm thinking too small. I would much rather go B2B and actually have businesses utilize my software, where now all their employees, now it's a benefits part, a benefits add-on where HR would actually enroll all of their employees because, better retention. If they know financial literacy, they'll be 70% more productive at the workforce, et cetera, right? If you're me, right, from a Maconomics standpoint, name of my business, what systems, you better know it, baby. We Macking out all day. What systems do I need in place that will help, my business scale?
I mean, I wouldn't worry about the systems right now. I'd worry about getting more attention at the top of the funnel, okay, and worry about the systems later. Like, I think people worry about systems before they have you need that funnel, bro. You need that thing to be massive wide at the top so that you're not at one event, right? Because you won't come, if you had 50 events to do, you won't come in second at all 50 of them. So I mean, operations is important, systems are important, but most people can figure out the system. Most companies have figured out systems. They don't fail because they don't have the systems. They fail because they don't have the attention of enough of an audience. Look, I've started a lot of businesses in spaces I know nothing about. I had this one company I bought 3.5 years ago from a guy. I was a customer of the company. He had 60 clients. It was a health company. It was called Streamline. I said, so you're not streamlined? And he wasn't. He had no organization, no systems. And he kept working on the systems. And because he kept working on the systems, he could never get more than 60 customers. And so what I did was I introduced his product. I said, bro, make me a partner in the company. I'm going to rename the company 10X Health System. And we're going to bring this product to the world. So I introduced the product to 34,000 people one weekend. And it flopped. He couldn't handle all the traffic. So we renamed the company, built out the product line. I bought the company from him out of future earnings. I had no money at the time to buy the company, so I bought it out of future earnings. I said, I'm going to pay you $1.5 million out of future earnings. We're going to rename it 10X Health. I'm going to help you build out the systems, but more importantly, I'm going to make you a star. I'm going to get the whole world to know who you are. Today, we have 252,000 customers 3.5 years later.
From 60.
From 60 customers. He had like 2 products. Today, the company has, I can't even keep up. I use 20 of the products every day. And our systems are still kind of wonky. People still complain about, oh my God, I didn't get it in time. Okay. Bro, I just got these Meta glasses, okay? I posted on X this morning. Here, I'm going to show you this so you can see it's real. I don't know if you can see that right there. Let me see. It might be too close.
Perfect. It's right there.
That was this morning. Same hat. Mm-hmm. It says, Meta glasses suck. Release was premature. Okay. Now the point is, most people are going to think I'm just complaining. The truth is, that's what you do when you're an entrepreneur. Release it, fix it later.
That's fair.
Okay. This iPhone right here, when you guys get the update, your phone has been updated or new updates awaiting or whatever it tells you, bro, that's code for we getting the bugs out.
Mm-hmm.
But notice how they say it, update available. See, most entrepreneurs would wait until they have everything perfect. Back to your procrastination. God released you and you weren't perfect.
Wow. You preaching. You about to pass around the hat, collect some times right now. You preaching, baby.
Sit around, baby.
You preaching. Back to the cell phone. Because I think the world has watched you build an enterprise, build an empire, also via social media. And so to the entrepreneurs, the small business owners, how should they get more comfortable about creating content without them feeling, I guess, too salesy?
You feel salesy because you hadn't done it enough, dude. You need to do it all the time, bro. Like you're not comfortable because you don't know what you're doing. You hadn't done it enough. Like there's no better teacher than repetition.
I love that.
You're just going to have to do it 1,000 times, maybe 10,000 times. And it's arrogant to think that you should be good at it the first time you do it. You're not good at it. Nobody's good at anything the first time they do it. And if you're good at it the first time you did it, that has nothing to do with you. It's just because you're gifted. And if you're gifted, I guarantee you, if you do it today, the first time, and you're gifted, if you do it 10,000 more times, you're going to look back on the 10,000th time to the first time that you did it, and you're going to be like, dude, that was terrible. So nobody's good at anything in the beginning, bro. You're awkward. You don't have confidence. Even if you're gifted, you're not going to have confidence that you were good. Your kids will do this. Your kids will be gifted at something, and they'll be like, that really wasn't that good, or, I'm not good that good, or they're not confident. How could you be confident? You've never done it before. So if you go back and look at my first videos on YouTube in 2012, bro, you go look at them. Light was bad, grainy, conversations terrible. I didn't remove any of them. Ty Lopez, I don't know if you know Ty, but Ty, I remember I was thinking about Ty the other day because I saw his name in the news. He had done a bunch of stuff on Bitcoin in 2013 or 14. and he took all the videos down. The Bitcoin had gone up and then it crashed. On the way up, he started talking about it. And when it crashed, he removed himself from the Bitcoin conversation because he thought it made him look bad. Well, that was like $110,000 ago. He should have kept it up. I've never taken one video down. Nothing. I've never taken down anything that I put up on the internet.
That's real.
If I was wrong, I left it up. So there's nothing wrong with being wrong, dude.
I love that. But listen, guys, that's it for this episode. Grant, I just want to thank you for coming on, brother. And guys, like always, make sure you like, subscribe, tell your auntie and her cousin to also subscribe and watch this episode. Until then, we'll see you next week.
This content was not intended to be financial advice and should not be used as a substitute for professional financial services.